Hi, this is Orca, here to show you how to create paths in your custom objects within your Salesforce instance. So first of all, logging in now into Salesforce and navigating to the home screen. So here you can see up along the top we have several objects that you will probably be familiar with, like accounts, contacts and opportunities. So these are all standard Salesforce objects, and opportunities and leads already has a path that comes out of the box, but the custom objects don't. First of all, you might be wondering, what is a path? So going to my opportunities and in here, selecting this particular one, up here what you see, this visual indicator of where you are within the opportunity is called a path. This is a really cool feature of Salesforce Lightning Experience, so it gives you a good visual indicator of where you are. Now the path will always go off a pick list. Remember, a pick list is here called a drop down. So a drop down in Salesforce terminology is a pick list, and the path here is always driven from a pick list. So my custom object up here called structured products, and I'm going to go to YouTube stock. So here you can see that this is my custom object that I have here, and what I would like is I would like to put in here a path for this pick list called product status. So here the product status, you can see I've got three values: not active, active and matured. So here I'm going to put active and save this. So what I would like to do is put a visual indicator up here for the product status. So anywhere from within Salesforce, in the top right hand corner, the little cog here, I'm going to go in and click Setup. Remember, if you don't have access to this, it's probably a permissions issue, so either speak to your Salesforce admin and allow you access, or alternatively, give this video link to your Salesforce admin and ask them to set this path up for you. So clicking on the cog and into Setup, very simply in the quick find box here, I'm just going to enter in path. And here you can see I've got path settings. So I'm going to click on this, and now it's going to show me here any paths that I've got in either my custom or my standard objects. So I'm going to click new path. Okay, so first of all, it's going to ask me for my path name. So here I'm going to put product path, and just simply click tab, and the API reference name is going to auto-populate. Now I'm going to go in here and select my object. So as you remember, the object that we were in before was called structured product. And then in here, record type. By default, it has master. So remember, Salesforce record types and pick lists are intertwined. So if you have different record types, you can only have one path per record type. And then it's up to you then to go in and create a different path for each record type. But it's a very simple and easy thing to do. Okay, finally here you can see it's asking for the pick list. Which pick list am I going to use within this path? So by default it's selected the top of the alphabetical order, barrier type, but I'm going to navigate down to product status because this is the pick list that I want to visualize within my path. I'm going to click next now. Okay, so a few things to bear in mind. Here are your different stages. So remember, back in Salesforce here, in this pick list, there were three different values. Here you can see that these three different values here are appearing here: not active, active and matured. So what I can do in here is I can actually select certain fields that I want to appear within the stage of the path. So I simply would go into here, and here you can see all of the different types of fields that are on my object. Next is the guidance for success. So this is very much a feature for sort of a sales pipeline driven information. So things like, what to do in this specific stage. So a sales manager might provide some guidance for their particular sales reps, but it doesn't really matter. You can put in whatever you would like in here. You can copy and paste GIFs. emojis. It's a rich text formatting. So within here, you can put your own text. So what we're going to do is I'm going to navigate to the active stage, and I'm simply going to go in here and I'm going to put in a couple of fields. So I'm going to select maturity date by clicking on it and then by clicking the right arrow. And then I'm also going to select the issue date, the ISIN, and the certificate last price. Now here you can see that the selected fields, you're limited to 5 because these should be really key fields that you want to show and you want to update within the path. So now I'm going to save this, and now I'm here, I'm going to put the guidance for success, and again I'm very simply just going to put in here, this is how you would update the product. And again, we can format this using rich text, and we can even go in and take an emoji in here and put that in. Okay, so anything that you would like, you can go in and you can very simply just copy and paste that in there. So now I've put the emoji in of the right size, and you can put in links. So if you wanted to link out to a website, for example, in here, so taking a URL, I can just go in and here and just say check this out here, and then simply put a link in, okay, and save that. And now you can see I've put a hyperlink. So quite a few different things that you can do within the guidance for success. So clicking next, and now I come to the final screen. So in here, Salesforce activated within a recent feature update something about celebrating success, and you can have on-screen confetti. And if you click that, you could click active in here, or not active, or matured being the stage that's going to produce the confetti. So here, let's click matured, and then in here, celebration frequency. This is how often it happens. So normally most people would just put sometimes, but for the purpose of this video, we want it to happen straight away. So I'm going to select always. And finally, making sure that the path is ticked here and is activated. So I'm going to finish, and now it's going to save this path. And what you'll see here in all the paths is very simply, I can have my product path that I created. My structured product is the object. You can see there's a tick box for it's active, and anytime that I wanted, I could go in, I could edit it, deactivate it, or delete it. Okay, so going back to my object here, I'm going to save this and I'm going to refresh this. Okay, what you can see is there's no path. That is because by default, your Lightning pages will not contain your path. So we actually need to add the path on to this specific Lightning page. So again, anywhere from within inside of Salesforce, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to simply go to edit page while I'm on this record. And this is going to load up the Lightning page builder. Now, this in theory could be a whole sequence of videos in itself. So rather than going over anything about the Lightning page builder, all I'm simply going to do is show you how you would add the path on. So going over to the left hand side here, you can see we've got multitude of standard components. In the middle here, there's path. So I'm going to take this path, I'm going to go over and I'm going to simply drag it on. If you just select it, an error message will come up. You see it'll say you need to, so you haven't selected it onto the page. So you need to drag it over. If you drag it over, you can see here, if I hover over the top part where it's a full screen, it will put it into full screen, the path. Or alternatively here, you can see if I was to put it above this little component, it would simply shrink it to see the width of this component. Likewise, if I drag it across here, you can see how it would then change the path widths for this component. But for the purpose of this video, I would like to see it full page. So here, I've now added the path to that, and I'm going to save it up the top here. So the right hand side, save. If you haven't activated a Lightning page within your org before, a box will come up like this asking you to activate it. Now by default there's various different things that you can do, but you can see what we've done here is just simply clicked adding as org default. So if you haven't done that before, that will appear. Simply click add as org default and then save it, and now your Lightning record page will be saved. So I'm going to click the back button up here, and perfect. Now you can see I've gone back to the page, and very simply it has just added the component to my screen. And rather than updating the pick list now in here, which could be laborious, especially if you have quite a few values, what I can very simply do is just click on the value, and I'm going to mark this as the current product status. So going through what we did, so first of all you can see not active, I've marked that. Now if I mark it as active, on the left hand side here, now it has given me options to show more. If I click that down, now what you can see is we have got the key fields that we've added in here, the date, the issue date, the ISIN number and the last price. All of those are showing, and all of those give me access to edit these fields from within the path. So again, if you've got a record with a lot of different fields and you want it nice and easy for the users to edit these key fields, they can simply edit them straight from the path here. And also the guidance for success that you've put on earlier as well. So here you can see by the rich text formatting we've got it here, and we've even got a hyperlink here to cloudorca.com. And finally, if I move the path on to matured, remember we selected the option for the confetti. If I mark this as the current status, now you can see confetti's going to roll down the screen because I've indicated that the status is matured, and every single time I take it to that, it's going to appear. So very simply, that is how you create a custom path on a custom object within Salesforce, put in key fields, guidance for success, and add it to the Lightning page layout.